I wanted to have like the silly chats as like a little like, not like a podcast, but like an experience, right? Where people can just come on and be the silliest versions of themselves. This is the embodiment of ridiculous. I have a video that was supposed to come out last December. It was called Sneaking into a College Party. It was a really ridiculous idea. We're sneaking into a little college party. Listen, my social life is lacking. My college experience was mid. I need something adventurous. Today we will be sneaking into an Ivy League college party. Where are we going right now? Wait, that's my cousin Natalie. She goes to Cornell. She's taking us for dinner.
Campus, Cornell has the 3rd best college dining in the country.
Okay.
And we're gonna get dinner with Trevor. Look good. You didn't even get my initial.
Sorry, what did you get?
I got pulled pork and fries.
Pulled pork, fries, broccoli, very healthy.
I got some chicken and some coleslaw and some rice and no stew. Guys, so basically I'm sneaking into a college party. So fingers crossed that it's gonna work. And let's go. We're using the back entrance. I'm having the time of my life. So my college experience has been so bleh, but this night alone. The little delinquent in me was excited. There was literally a sign saying, "Not an entrance, enter through door on downstairs." And I was like, oh my god, I can't believe we're doing this. Okay.
The cops just came.
Oh, so did you? Yeah?
No, it's all good. They're good.
Okay. The cops just came, but we're all good. Right?
Yeah.
This is my chaotic college girl era. We're out of the instant party. We used to think so busted. Okay guys, so we just got back.
Nothing that'll get me in trouble with my boyfriend.
No, I promise you'll be okay. It was a ridiculous video, and it was 2 minutes long, and I was like, do I post this on like my main channel, or do I just like keep it? So I just kind of kept it in my gallery. So I hope you enjoyed that video, whatever that was. I just feel like Mercury has really been in retrograde. I don't even know what that means. I've just heard the science girlies, the zodiac girlies talk about it, so I feel like I'm better equipped to speak on Mercury. But I think that life has really been lifing. And the reason I know I'm not crazy for thinking that life has been lifing is because life has been lifing for a lot of my friends. And I just want to be able to provide a space where people can just come and exist. So really, can you see this dress? This is my auntie dress. I did a little bit of makeup for you. Can you see? Can you see my eyes? Oh, look, she's so cute. She did makeup for us. I did a little makeup for you. I want you guys to just come here and just listen to me chat nonsense. Sometimes that means that being silly means that we'll include and we'll bring guests on, which I'm super excited for. I'm currently compiling the guest list of who I am going to be live streaming with. So basically, coincidentally, a video came out today that I had recorded like 2 years ago, and I can actually tell you what it's called. Something along the lines of social media. I posted this on my and I've linked this, so I'm gonna link the video again if anybody wants to like go and catch up. But I completely forgot half of the things that I said in this video, because obviously the video just came out, right? I completely forgot half of the things that I said in this video, and then I had to go back and watch it, and I had to go back and basically watch myself, like my past self, telling my future self, which I really needed to hear, that life is all about trying. And for the people that just joined, I was just essentially talking about how life has really been lifing this past 2 weeks, past couple of weeks. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like everything, like I hate adulting, like I hate it here. I want somebody to say that we can do this just like they used to do in high school, just like they used to do in boarding school and primary school and when we were children. I just want somebody to say, just do this, and I'll just do it, and it's guaranteed results and guaranteed peace of mind. But apparently adulting means that you need to make decisions on your own, and that might mean that some of the decisions go badly, and that might mean that some of the decisions go greatly. And in it, I was just basically saying that life means like you need to try, like you need to go for things, and you need to try. And I'm like heavy on being scared of failure. Like it's crazy because I've tried so many things, but I'm like, why are things gonna fail? Why are your 20s for trial and error? Because I also think that like I live in a world where like all the 20-year-olds that I will follow, oh my gosh, all the 20-year-olds I follow are doing something with their life. So obviously sometimes it means getting into that bubble of, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm doing enough, like maybe I should be doing like 10 times harder than I am. And anyway, basically I got into my head this past 2 weeks, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I talked to a couple of people. I think one person is on the live stream, if she's still here. I saw her, like she validated me taking like a little bit of a break, so I took a little bit of a holiday. I didn't do anything on my holiday. Like if you guys have any good hobbies on like how people can like relax and enjoy, please let me know, because I am in desperate need of like hobbies, because YouTube used to be my hobby and now it's my job. So what do I do now? Yeah, should I take up swimming? Honestly, I think that my next hobby could be dancing. Like I have the strongest passion for dancing. Like in my head, I am a phenomenal dancer. I can break my back, wind my waist, twist and turn in ways that Rihanna, if she saw, would call me immediately to say that, Nubuke, I think you should collaborate with Paris. Paris is Rihanna's choreographer for like a lot of her dances. So the Fenty show, the Super Bowl, Paris Go Bell. However, my body cannot but what can my body do? My body can't execute. Oh my gosh, why was that word so hard to think about? My body cannot execute such moves. And so I think that like a hobby I really want to take up is dancing, but I don't want to do it alone. Like I want to do dancing like in a class. Like I want to be a dancer where like everybody else in the world is a dancer. Oh my gosh, not somebody saying now the Nubuke leg work came to mind. I love that you call it the Nubuke leg work, because it's the worst dance move in the world. Like why do I like, oh my gosh, okay, I'll tell you this story. It's terrible. So in high school, and she's like one of my favorite people in the world, but in high school, this girl, let me know her name on the internet, but essentially she said, I was dancing, like this happened on 2 occasions. Like I used to not be able to sing. I thought I could sing the whole time. But anyway, I used to not be able to sing, and I used to not be able to dance. I still can't do like the last part, the dancing part, but I used to not be able to sing and dance. And this happened on 2 occasions. Like I was dancing, and like I think I was like in a dance crew, like for like a special performance. My high school always used to do these things, so we'd always sign up to go and dance. And I was like dancing with the crew, and I think everybody else's energy was low, but I was just happy to be there. Guys, my one thing in life is I'm just happy to be there. If you look at like my pictures, if you look at me hanging out with my friends, I'm just happy to be there. I'm just happy to exist. William. I'm just happy to exist. Hi Kio, I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. I love you guys so much. Always keep the comments flowing. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So essentially I like then they stopped the crew. Like this girl, she stopped everybody from that. She was like, you guys stop. You're not even giving us the energy that you should be giving us. You can't. Look at Nubuke. Even Nubuke, she can't dance, but look at the energy she's giving. And I was like, oh my God. This is like the worst compliment you could ever give me. But the reason I'd been strengthened is somebody said the same exact phrase. I remember who he was from my high school. He said that was singing. I was singing, and I was singing very loudly and very poorly. And this guy is like, you guys, you're not even giving energy. And look at Nubuke, she can't even sing. But look at Nubuke, she's like singing off, but like she's singing with the energy. And I was like, okay, thanks. So that being said, upon all the feedback, I ended up improving singing. Like my family's great. My family's great. If anybody in my family is watching this, you guys are great. And because they're so great, they would come for like all the shows. So like all our shows. So like I'm singing, everybody's coming for the show. Like at a point when I was little, I was a model. Like my family, like my mom would like rally everybody. They would come and watch my show. So in high school, nothing was different. I was like, I just did everything. So that meant like my family would come all the time. And where was I? Oh yeah. So I had been cast as why is my high school so ridiculous? So like, okay, so we did Lion King, the Broadway version of Lion King and it was like the extra like Broadway version. So like we had the elephants, we like had a prop team, we performed it in like the Ghana National Theatre. So it was that big, like we were sending tickets to everywhere. We were getting like screen time on radio to tell everybody in the nation of Ghana, come and watch these little children perform. And that was like the best show we've ever done. It was Lion King, the Broadway. And so the year was coming to a close and we were still not off the high of Lion King. It was such a great performance. This was in 2014. And December pulls around and can you imagine that my school rewrote Lion King but like as a Christmas play? It was the funniest thing in the world. So like it was like the angel Gabriel like was Rafiki, like Mary and Joseph. Like I don't know what the play was, but it was a play and they said these children go perform Lion King till we're tired of this play. So I got cast as Rafiki. I was so happy because I didn't make it into like the actual Lion King Broadway as anybody of importance. Like when it was the actual show in the National Theatre and everything, like I had to like, I auditioned for like, look, if you can't get one big role, you better get 20 million small roles. Yeah, have you heard me? If you can't get a big role in life, you better make sure you're an extra 50 million times. And that's exactly what I did. So come and see me, guys. I was grass. I was ensemble. I was a wildebeest. I was a cloud runner. What is a cloud runner, might I ask? I don't know what a cloud runner is, but I was a freaking cloud runner. That was life. I was a cloud runner. So anyway, I'll fast forward to like this Christmas play. I get cast as Rafiki. So like, you know, the big boys. And again, I thought I could sing this whole time. Apparently, according to my family, I couldn't sing because tell me why. I think it was my mom or my uncle or some kind of conversation came after. Like, it was like, oh my God, like, they came up to me, Nubuke, you did so well. Like, oh, like you can sing. Like, wow. I didn't know you could sing. Like, that's like, I don't remember which family member said it, so I can't come after them. But I'm just like, wow, why are you guys like that? Why do you let me exist in my troublesomeness and then only let me discover who I am much later on? But the reason that's so good, oh my God, can I just say, I cannot believe my brain is working like how some of the podcasters' brains work. I swear it's like the microphone, because I'm about to link this to something. And I'm just like, I cannot believe I conjured a link. It's great stuff. Anyway, I was watching this interview that I did, that I'm going to link in the description box below, but I did it 2 years ago. And essentially, in the interview, I was talking about how I always knew that I would be the version of myself that I am today.
Have you always been this confident?
Yeah. So, yes. Yeah, but that doesn't mean like if you wanted to like boost up your confidence or anything, like you couldn't go for it. Because I have so many friends that did like a full 360. They were shy when they were younger, and now suddenly they're confident. But in my case, when I was younger, that kind of manifested itself in either me being too talkative in class. I always used to get in trouble, me not being really interested in, you know, certain areas of school, but more being interested in like break times, because then there's with people and all of these different activities, and me being annoying. I remember being called annoying a lot. But it's so funny because I was talking to my friend a couple of weeks ago about this, and I feel like I always knew that whoever that person was, would become this person that I am today. Like it just makes sense. Like there's just no world where all of that energy didn't become all of this energy right now. And I'm especially grateful to the people that were around me, in terms of my family, that didn't, break that down in me and say, she talks too much, be quiet, don't do this. I'd say my family even reinforced it because they are loud. I think I've kind of always been like this, and it's just become more refined the older that I have gotten. And I think it's very important, and like a lesson that I can learn from that, in even like when I'm raising my kids and like everybody that is in my life. Sorry, it was so important that when I was a child, I wasn't broken down for being like that version of me, right? I don't know how my family dealt with annoying me. I can't, like, maybe they blasted me and I just didn't listen. Blasted, for those of you who are not Ghanaian, are like, maybe they told me off. So if you hear that a lot, keep that lingo in your mind, because it's like my favorite word to say. But maybe they blasted me when I was small, and I just didn't listen. But somehow that annoying little girl eventually evolved into, confidence showing up. And I can't imagine not being the version of me that just exists, now. And I attribute that to like being little and just showing up then, as whatever version I was then. Because the thing about aging and the thing about growing is that then you become a little bit more refined, you know what I mean? Some of the principles in life that you pick up along the way, like, just push you to be, like, I guess, a better version of yourself. And so, yeah, that being said, like, somewhere down the line, that became the version of me that you see today. And I love that so much. And I wonder what possibilities, what infinite possibilities of people we could become if some of that light wasn't snuffed out of us when we were so young. And so I really want to be able to challenge people, especially, like, that's why I really like, I'm sorry, I'm so proud of myself. Like, I'm putting sentences together. Like, I started this live stream, the live wasn't working. I was sad. I'm very happy. I can't believe I'm a tech babe now. Yeah, I said it. I'm a tech babe for putting this live stream together. But why'd I bring that up, Nubuke, please, line of thinking. Let's come back online. I brought that up to say that I want this podcast to be a place where people can just show up, right? So this week, my mission for myself is to kind of find a hobby. I want to find a hobby. I think it's dancing. I really think that my next phase of life is that I could be a professional dancer. So this week, please, everybody come online, find a hobby. Find a hobby. The way Mercury, I can't even say this phrase. The way Mercury is in retrograde and is beating our bums. I don't even know if Mercury's actually. Can we look that up? You see, this is why I need an assistant. So I'll say, Kwaku, can you look that up? Is Mercury in retrograde? Give me a second. Whilst I am my own assistant. Is Mercury in retrograde? But I don't know why everybody's going through it. Maybe this is adulting. Maybe it's just because it's the beginning of the year. And like, we're coming to the end of the first quarter. What have you guys achieved from your first quarter? Wait, hold on. No, on December 29th, Mercury went retrograde for the fourth and final time in 2022. During the stretch, which ends on January 18th, you may hear all sorts of things being blamed on the planets of communication. That's so funny. That's why is Google telling me that you better not be silly because you making it up all on your own. That's what Google is saying. Okay, Mercury is clearly not a retrograde. I can't blame my life problems on a planet. Okay, so maybe I'm the problem. And what about it? So I'm blaming my problems on myself. Yes, there we go. So I need a hobby so that I can, like, declutter my mind. Like, I've been thinking about, like, ops, right? Because I was doing, like, a truth or drink, and I think one of the questions was, like, that, like, people sent in was, like, who's your op? And I don't think anybody's an op but myself. Like, I'm very much, like, in my head, I know people think that they have enemies, and maybe you do. Look, maybe you're that hot of a catch that somebody is there and they're targeting you. Me, personally, I don't think I've gotten to that stage where somebody's just in my business like that. I don't think people really care like that, but that being said, I think I'm in my head a lot. So I'm highly prepared and ready. Like there's a book, I have it in my audiobook library. It's called The Power of Change by Craig Groeschel. And I'm reading it. And Craig Groeschel's like, oh, you know that the first way you change yourself is by the power of identity. So you need to look at yourself differently. I'm like, yes. You know what? That's the same thing that James Clear said in Atomic Habits. I'm like, yes, I'm an athlete. So you don't say, I'm going to work out. Bro, I'm going to try and work out. Who do you think you are? No, you're an athlete. You gotta see yourself as that version. And I know that's like a little bit far-fetched, the whole athlete conversation. But on the note of like identity is such a big thing. And that's been a recurring theme of mine. So basically, I was supposed to start off the year in multiple different places. Somewhere that was like calm and like destination-y. And that was one of the options. Another option was to go stay with one of my really good friends and just like build and grind and figure life out together. Then another option was, should I just come to England so that I can be in a space where I build routine and blah, blah, blah. So my goal for the year, at the beginning of the year, was just to figure life out, right? And to build a routine. So I said, okay, I'll come to England. I'll just get a place in England and I'll just like build a routine from there. Why did I bring this up? Nubuke, why did I bring this up? Is this what podcasts are about? Do people just go on tangents that they don't know what they are talking about? I think what I was aiming for is that I'm sorry. This is so funny. Do you know how many times I would record and cut here? Like at this moment, cut, develop my idea, come back to the camera. But as I'm live streaming, my thoughts need to be coherent. And I feel like you're gonna find out the real me is not coherent here. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the silly chats being the place that you find out, like, in true fact, my brain is so silly. And I don't think it helped that I watched the later season of You. I'm not going to spoil it, so you don't have to fast forward. But whatever that ending was has messed me up for life. And now am I Joe Goldberg? Am I Joe? So come on here and realize that the silly chats is the version of me that is uncut, and that is the wackier version of me. So that's basically what this is. I cannot believe I've been talking for like 30 minutes straight. I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of nervous. Like, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, literally like 2 days ago, and I was explaining how like I'm nervous. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of nervous. And the person was like, you don't look nervous. I'm like, no, I really am though. Like, in my mind, like my mind is like going up and down. But I think that like my brain presents differently from like how my mind is. And so I am really excited about like what the silly chats will be. Like in 2 weeks when I bring my first guest on, like we're gonna ask like really fun questions, like really fun and ridiculous. Don't be coming here for the tea, because it's not like a gossip channel type thing. Like, this is like really fun questions, and I expect everybody, like, when you're here at 6 p.m. on a Sunday evening, please be dressed in your most ridiculous outfits. I'm not wearing my ridiculous outfit. This is my auntie dress. You can also wear your auntie dresses. You can wear auntie dresses or ridiculous outfits. How about that? I have my nice auntie dress on, get like a glass of wine, or if you don't drink, no pressure, don't drink. If you don't drink water. Bring water here. Somebody said I'm learning Spanish. That's amazing. I love Spanish. I freaking love Spanish so much. Like, I love Spanish so much that I want to go to Spain and like just speak Spanish. Like, I have been craving to go to Spain this year. And I'm going to make that happen just so I can speak Spanish. When people like speak different languages, and it's crazy because like as Africans, do you know how cool it is that we speak multiple different languages? But the world doesn't pitch it as bilingual, do they? They don't pitch it as trilingual. Do you know that I'm basically quadrilingual? Lingual? What's the... Okay, you give me a second whilst I Google this, okay? Quadrilingual. Is that a word? No. It's not a word. No, it is. The person... Oh, it is a word. Yay. Do you know I'm basically quadrilingual? I speak English. Hola. I speak English. Hola. No, sorry. I speak English. Hello. I speak Spanish. Hola. I speak Ewe. I don't know what hello and Ewe is. I'm sorry. Afar is like... Are you okay? Ah! I'm sorry. Not me saying I speak languages and not knowing how to speak the languages. Take my word for it, okay? My grandma says I'm good enough. No, she actually doesn't. She says I'm terrible, but it's fine. I speak Ewe and I speak a little bit of Tree. Tree is another language. Why am I saying Tree like Twee? Like they do when people don't know what tree is. Anyway. I'm sorry. Oh my god, live streaming is it's ridiculous. That's what it is. It's just a ridiculous form of the world. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I speak Tree, so I speak 4 languages, and I think that's so cool. And I want people to like embrace the fact that they speak multiple languages. Please drop in the comment section what languages you speak. I just think that like, if you speak multiple languages, you're probably so cool. Like I love people who speak languages. It's the coolest thing ever. It means you can communicate and like, oh my gosh, like I have a friend and she's like one of my really good friends, right? So when we end up catching up, she's French. She's from Senegal. She speaks French. She's French. And so half of her life happens in French, right? Like half of her life happens in French because she's French. So half of her life happens in French. And so when she's relaying stories, she says it with such intensity and like fervor and vim, and I'm just like, oh my god. And I'm like, and this all happened in French? And she's like, yup, and this all happened in French. And I love that. It didn't happen in English. Life fully happened in another language. You know, like some of the geniuses in the world didn't speak a lick of English. Like I think like I might be wrong, okay, don't quote me, use Google to find out, but like I swear there's like a really good mathematician who was German. And I'm just like, wow, do you know how wisdom transcends language? And I think that like the more languages, I don't know, we need to find out from a scientist. If you're a scientist, leave in the comment section down below. But I think that when you speak multiple languages, you're probably smarter than people who don't speak multiple languages. I said it. I said it because I can. I said it with my chest, because languages, especially like different languages, like the words, like, does that make sense? Like, I know that makes sense. Like, languages have words, and like, just essentially, I just think that if you speak multiple languages, you're smarter than like half of the world. Sorry, I went on a tangent there. What have we been talking about, Nubuke? What have we been talking about? You see? That's exactly why I have this, so that I can just like rant and talk about things that are in my mind. I'm trying to think of something exciting or something that's silly that happened this week. I said yesterday that I woke up for lunch and I had like a bowl of yogurt and like chocolate. That wasn't silly. That was a conscious decision to eat chocolate for breakfast, and I did it. This is my silly picture. This is the silliest picture I took yesterday. I took it by literally me like above the fire, and I was just like, this is such a great picture. So if you're looking at this picture, it's a great picture. That was my silly picture of the week. And I hope to take more. I hope I didn't bend my hair. You know, I'm such a clumsy person. Like, I be hurting myself on a regular basis, like, not on purpose. So, like, when things happen, I just embrace it. I just embrace it because I'm clumsy. That's who I am. And I'm going to show up as a clumsy version of myself. And I want you to show up as a clumsy version of yourself. So anytime you're feeling low, anytime you're feeling sad, please just know that the silly chats are on Sundays, every other Sunday at 6 p.m. I will be here live on YouTube and live on Instagram, so I can give you a nice warm hug and so that you can escape your day, because I just think that life friggin' lives and you just need to be away from that. Everybody's mission this week is to find a hobby, a healthy hobby, please. Thank you guys so much for being amazing. Thank you so much for coming on my live. Thank you so much. This has been so cool. This will be great. I promise you we will make sense when we do make sense. But for the most part, I love you guys loads, and I'm gonna see you later. Bye. I just might be a black Bill Gates in the making. So watch this space. Watch this space.